on the streets in Nigeria. Like you won't go do law. Even law enforcement officers, they know they follow law. Take a look at this one.
Hey, what I mean? Hola. Huh? Ready? Hello. Outside.
We are a poor nation. The ban code we follow. They say firewood not food. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. Do it.
They do it. So that was the scene of a crash that happened before even the video started. So between a private car and that massive truck. So the car trunk got hit by the truck, and then the truck was making an effort to just escape and drive away. So the car decided to block his way. The more he blocked the way, the more the truck kept pushing and hitting. At a point, he reversed and hit again. Because everybody everybody, some people in Nigeria right now, because of the frustration and the whole thing everywhere, right? Some people are bottling their own madness. You get what I mean? You enter bus, and then everybody is ready. They say the bus is about to leave. Everybody pay. And everybody is giving their own money, their fare. And they got to this Egbon. And Egbon was like, okay. Conductor collected money from everybody. He said, bros, your money. Then he was like, give them their change, give them their change. That's why I need to know if you have the accurate fare or you will need change as well. So they gave everybody their change and they're like, you are the only person delaying us right now. You know, like, Alaye pay. That's it. And he just lost it. Like, why are you shouting? Why are you there? It's a very simple thing. Pay. You know, do you know who I am? Because everybody's got something they bottled in that now passengers will go, they say, is it they go on, Baba? Say you know get money ni Abibawo, like they're asking you to pay. Well, the thing is this. Instances like that, it's not because that person doesn't have money or so. Their mind may be somewhere else. God knows what is troubling them. Something that, you know what, the moment they got into that, you know, that public bus like that, it was like a moment of sitting down to reflect. They are completely gone, off mind. How many people are walking about like that? Do you know? And they just need one simple thing to implode. And they will implode in a way that sometimes people closer to them will be like, that's very much unusual of him. Something must have triggered it too. Like, this guy know they behave like that too. What's going on? So if you have people around you, you know, showing that kind of behavior in Nigeria, I bet you understand. Because sometimes when you kind of like just throw your tantrum needlessly simply because you have become so, and it happens everywhere, by the way. But if you think whatever you are going through, wherever you are right now, outside Nigeria, if you think that is even so much, you probably have no idea what it is if you are to be going through the same thing in Nigeria. I know some of you probably have never really experienced that ship that way. And then suddenly you find yourself in foreign land and the whole thing is just so overwhelming and all that. And it becomes so mentally draining. And then you just feel like Nigeria is better. Go back there. Go take a look. You get what I mean? So people are saying that frustration that will make them, the frustration that got them to jump up from Nigeria, right? They hope there will be no any kind of frustration outside Nigeria that will force them back. Because if you have any situation that's forced you out of Nigeria, and then what you encountered elsewhere, not like going into criminal stuff. I mean, like situation, life is so hard, it's so tough that you have to be forced back to Nigeria. But situation may actually really be beyond just Nigeria. You get what I mean? So people are walking about with rage. Officers who are supposed to be calm under whatever pressure. You go see him quickly now, you don't turn gun. I will shoot you. I say, what are you thinking? Officer. Somebody said, I don't have any money to give you because you want money. All those roadside check this and that is just, you want money. And since you realize that this person won't give you money, suddenly they become so rude. Even if they just say, officer, well done. Oh, what do you mean well done? What do you mean well done? Are you mad? Do you know me? I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you now, sir. Say, Kingsley, what do you do? What do you talk? I don't talk anything. No. As time when they talk to you, I just say, officer, well done. No, I'll work. It can't be that. Can't be what you told him. The guy won't shoot you. He's got the cock gun. So I swear. Now wait till I tell her. I just say, officer, well done. No, I'll work. Because he's a frustrated person. You get what I mean now? He's serving a country that is paying him, that is underpaying him. And he's also have to exist in the same community. I'm sorry, in the same economy rather, that these rogues is protecting or defending have created. Now he's got no power. to question those who have put him in that situation. Then they gave him gun. And somehow, he's realizing that your friend that is talking to his colleague there is not looking like he's going to give them money. You come to ask her, the officer, well done, sir, how work? His children have been sent out of school. He's not got money to pay their school fees. They have already told him that, he would have to move out of his house since he couldn't get any house in the barracks. He's rented privately out there. Now he can't even pay his rent. His wife called him useless every morning. Police officer, where you go see for road, they call officer. His wife is calling him useless. Very, very useless man. This and that, different names. And he couldn't do anything. So he come to the side of the road, praying that today in call, some of you will be nice enough to the officers. And he will go back home with something substantial. And there he is. You're not going to give him money. No, you're not going to give him money. He's using every trick to get the money, but you're not going to give him money. So what do you think is going to happen? You're going to trigger him. Say, officer, well done. These are the kind of, explosive people walking about who can explode anytime. And when they explode, right, it's probably going to be, it's going to be time, it's going to be taking life as well. Like you see that lady that died, Sommie Somtochukwu Maduagu, the Arise TV anchor, news anchor, correspondent, right? She died because some armed robbers allegedly came to her estate. This was supposed to be an eyebrow estate. Do you understand? Like areas that you probably would pay that much money simply because there's enough security there. Armed robbers came and they robbed a lot of people, but she jumped from the third floor. That's the story. A lot of people are questioning that story. Sure you get. But look at the police. I think police spokesperson for Abuja, being a police divisional officer, DPO or something in Abuja. I just want to play you this clip because I want you to watch his countenance talking about this young woman that died. And even the security guard also died, right? I need you to just take a look at his composure, his facial expression and all that, describing the scenario. And he is a senior police officer, right? I'll ask you what you think afterward.
Thank you so much. Let me start this way. FCT Command, once again, commiserate with the family of Sommie. Arise News family, entire Nigerians that are reasonably touched with this ugly incident. It was indeed a sad one, very disturbing indeed. Regarding the circumstances surrounding the incident, to set the record straight, some hoodlum, armed robbers specifically, gain access into unique apartment where Sommie lives. A twin 3-story 18-flat apartment around the Girishiri end of Katampe under Mabushi divisional area. At this point in time, 2 guards were on duty, security men. These are private guard. And one of them, who had the courage to challenge, sustained a gunshot. Under this condition, the panic that will have resulted from this kind of environment. Sommie actually occupied an apartment on the topmost floor of the building. And out of the fear, she jumped down from that 3rd story, the top floor. The consequences is what we have seen. It's so sad, so unfortunate.
Well, have you...
At last, distress call was read to the command control room. Policemen moved to the scene. What they could see, the unconscious body of Sommie on the floor. They picked her there and then and took her to Maiyegun General Hospital, where the doctor on duty tried as much as possible to see whether they can resuscitate her using the CPR. It's unfortunate. He couldn't make it. And that was the story. But what are we doing at our end here? We've set up a specific investigation team headed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police Investigation, with all the tactical components required to unravel the whole situation with a view to tracking down the culprit responsible for this dastardly act. The leads we are getting, we're already working on it. No stone will be left unturned to ensure that the perpetrators are tracked and brought to justice. And the result of the investigation will be made known to Nigeria. That is the situation for now.
So my first question is this. For those of you who have seen the interview, great. You're going to tell me how you feel, or you're already saying it anyway. But for those of you who are seeing that video for the first time, the part of that interview, with the countenance of this guy, his posture, his facial expression, the movement of the eyes, the flick once in a while, would you say you believe everything he said? That's the first one. The second question is this. After all is said, do you really believe that indeed they will capture those who killed her? Now let's go back to it. Abuja is the federal capital territory of Nigeria. That was the police commissioner for Abuja. Now close your eyes for a sec. No, maybe longer than a sec. 5 seconds. And imagine it that this happened somewhere in one nice London postcode. And I'm talking about Highbrow area. I'm not talking about the regulars now, because London is the capital of Britain. And because of that, imagine the chief police officer for London coming around to address the public or speak on the national television about the tragedy. And so relaxed. Let me tell you what happened. This story. Sommie lives in apartment A, and what happened is that some guys came and to rob them, and Sommie lives on the top floor of this 3-story building, okay? And so she jumped. And she collapsed, unconscious. A distress call then was put to us, and our officers arrived, and when they got there, they picked her up and they took her to the hospital, right? Like, if somebody that speaks like that is talking about a murder, armed robbery, homicide, right? Does it not tell you entirely what the police in that place actually is like? Do everything in Nigeria not to get killed. I don't know what you can do. I don't know. Getting killed is different from dying, I am not saying, but I do tell people to do everything to please not die, please don't die now. It's a different thing to say, please don't get killed. Because if you get killed, you will never know that nothing is going to be done. Because in another few days, in order to put this whole thing to rest, they may parade 2-3 boys in another few days, and they will tell you that they are the ones who came to rob that place, and those are the people responsible for the death of this woman. And then they will bring out weapons, everything they recovered from them. And usually they bring out all these weapons from their storage. Nigeria police will bring out weapons from the evidence room. And they will table them, parade them, and say, this is the weapon they got from your house. You could come to wonder, say, hey, I get this many guns. Wow. You understand? And they'll put the cameras before you to be answering questions about how you are the criminal after they must have, of course,